Hey, Jake's back and he's got his own show. He's on the mic and he's ready to go. Noodle on his left, Jess on his right. Hey, hold up, don't start a fight. Woo! He's got you covered with all the sports. Don't fret, he's wearing shorts. It's time for Waking Jake in the morning, Waking Jake at night. Jake sucks.
Ooh-wee, Sierra, this beat is Russ sucks. Welcome back to Wake and Jake. Myself, BBD. Baseball, football season. NBA comes back. Holy cow. I'm out of the loop. Knicks play the Grizz tonight. Not talking about that. What we will talk about is Yankees Astros Part 3. As our Yankees go on to the ALCS, we were unsure of that as of yesterday. They were playing the Guardians. In hindsight, you get to say it now because they won the series, and I'll do some Yankees stuff. The Yankees could have won all 5 games against Cleveland pretty easily. They were up 2-0. They went to extras in that game. A bloop that should have been caught and was like a problem the whole series. Whatever. Cleveland wins. That's fine. But the Yankees could have won that game. The Guardians walk it off at home. Clark Schmidt pitching out of the bullpen. They didn't use Clay Holmes. Yankees could have won that game. They kind of, even if Clark Schmidt, if you watch the replay, Clark Schmidt throws his glove behind his back. If somehow that ball ended up in the glove, the Yankees win that game. Or if there's a shift up the middle or something, it wasn't. Guardians win. I'm not trying to discredit the Guardians. I'm just saying for the Yankees, being the 2 seed, being the New York Yankees, being a good baseball team, ending up dominating 2 games with their season on the line. They dominated them. They put up runs in the first and second inning of both games, and they maintained the lead throughout both of their games. When they had to turn it on, they did. They were living in fear of their dumb ALDS schedule, when they played to that, which was a little scary, but I think it ended up working out. Yankees move on. Sorry, Guard Dogs. No AL or NL Central in the CS round. Veered. What? How veered is that? Which brings on Yanks Houston. Part 3. 2017, Game 7 of the ALCS. Things have come out about that Houston team. A tough Tommy Kahnle inning. Bada bing, bada boom. Houston went to the World Series. They won it all. Whole scandal, whole big deal tied to this company. Whatever. Sure. Sound like Garrett Cole press conference. Whatever. Sure. It was cute. 2019. Yankees, Astros. Game 6. DJ LeMahieu hits what could have been one of the more famous home runs in Yankees history. Clips Roberto Osuna. Bad guy. Opposite field. Game-tying home run. And then there was kind of that realization of, the game is tied. Oh, boy. Altuve walk-off off Chapman. About as tough as it gets after all of that. 2018, Yanks lost to the Red Sox. Also not fun. 2020, Yanks lost to the Rays. Reminder, also not fun. 2021, Yankees lose to the Red Sox. Reminder. Also not fun. This Houston team, for the first half of the season, and this shouldn't be forgotten, the New York Yankees were on a historic pace and the best team in the American League, easily. And Joe's McFly got me good today because he reminded me of all the stats that kept popping up that were like, when a Yankees team has gotten off to this kind of start, they go to the World Series. Like every game they had a new stat that was like, if the Yankees do this, if the Yankees have a 20-game lead, if the Yankees have a 10-game lead, they went to the World Series. If the Yankees were this many games over 500, they went to the World Series. They were that team, and they felt like that team. Historically bad August. And here we are. And, some of that was for the postseason, in quotes. Some of it was injuries. Here we are against the Houston Astros. Astros really turned it on after a whatever start. I mean, this season was still early, and then they went. And at that point, they never stopped, and they are your Houston Astros. The names you're familiar with: Altuve, Verlander. You've just known those guys as a part of Houston. You've probably known Bregman and Tucker, and now Yordan. Yuli Gurriel's been there the whole time. You might learn who Jeremy Pena is this series, the young rookie shortstop. We'll get to rookie shortstops in a second. No Michael Brantley this series. I said when that injury happened, I thought that was going to be a big deal. He'd kind of been in the top 3 of that Houston lineup. Jeremy Pena is now kind of in there. Let's see. Let's see if that comes back and matters. Their pitching is elite. I did this before. Justin Verlander, a 175, and he's Justin Verlander. He's going to the Hall of Fame all time. Framber Valdez set the most consecutive quality start record this year. Sure. The Snapdragon, Lance McCullers Jr. has come back to the tune of 8 starts and a 2.27 ERA. He's the guy that started off that 18-inning shutout against the Seattle Mariners. The bullpen names don't have the sex appeal. Presley, Montero, Stanek, Neris, Abreu. Their stats do. All those guys are electric. And that's been the underlying secret sauce of this Houston, period of time, is they've gotten so much good pitching. Every night, day in, day out, starter or bullpen. They've had guys coming out that have allowed the Altuves and the Yuli Gurriels and going back to Springer and whoever you want to bring into it. Correa. Now Yordan. Kyle Tucker. Altuve with a 921 OPS this year. That's so good. How good did this year rank on Altuve's? I mean, this ties with his MVP season. OPS plus 160 both years. His 2 best seasons hitting. 2017 and now this year. There's some symmetry, huh? Altuve, Judge?
How about that?
Might be some pictures of them on the bases together. That'll be a real goddamn treat, won't it? Houston is the better team. It's baseball. It's the great equalizer. The Yankees need to steal 1 game. Potentially 2. They're coming into this series very weird. No off day. They go from beating the Guardians, a little bit of a champagne celly, fly to Houston. They're playing the next day. They're pitching Jamison Tyone, their 4-starter, who only appeared in a bullpen bloop fest appearance. Houston should dominate game 1. They're well rested. If you know anything about sports or baseball, it never just seems to go down like that. I'm excited to see how the series plays out. Obviously, so is everyone. That's why you're listening to this. The Yankees need to absolutely steal 1. Whether it's today, the travel game, first game in Houston, the Yankees should be tired. Houston should be rested. That doesn't matter as much in baseball. We're not in football. Terry Francona had a great quote that before the game 5, he was like, I don't need to get these guys amped up. It's not football. We're not rushing for 3 yards. Like, they know what they have to do. You got to get hits and make plays. If the Yankees could steal the Tyone start, or they're going to have like a walk-off come from behind victory off of Presley or someone in that bullpen. And they can. They did that this year. Twice. And Presley has bad numbers against the Yankees historically. They're going to have to steal at least one to have a chance to win the series. They very much can do it when you start going tit for tat between these two teams. Can Judge and Altuve. Judge broke the home run record. He's going to win MVP. Altuve has a crazy playoff history. Let's say that's a wash. I probably should have done Judge with Yordan because those two are the closest comparisons. But how about this? Could I do Yordan and Stanton? Stanton, talk about playoff history. His recent playoff history is disgusting. You know what? I'll bring up the numbers just in case we have some Houston fans tuning in. Giancarlo Stanton's recent postseason game logs, he has been an absolute Looney Tune. He has 9 home runs in his last 13 games. It's pretty good. That's really good. So let's say it's a wash. Let's say Altuve, Yordan, Judge, and Stanton is a wash. Okay, so where are we going next? Kyle Tucker and Rizzo? We can match that up. Gleyber Torres and Pena? Same, different, maybe. We'll see. Then you've got your Yuli Gurriels, Donaldsons. Could each of those guys? Sure. Why not? The catchers really ain't there to hit, but they're around. Bader just hit. He's not out there to hit, but he just hit. Oswaldo Cabrera. Can that kid put together a series? I don't know. We'll find out. I didn't match anyone with Bregman. That's a little scary. That guy can have a series on you. And I think if you're going tit for tat there, maybe I'd move Bregman for Gleyber, and hopefully Glaber's got good postseason history.
Yeah.
And then it's Pena and Cabrera. Or is it Pena and Peraza? The Yankees put their top prospect rookie shortstop, which if you hear some pain in my voice, we talked about a lot on Talking Yanks, Wake and Jake, Talking Baseball, wherever they'd let us talk about it. They had a top prospect shortstop all year who, with the Yankees season on the line, got replaced at shortstop by the guy that was this guy's backup shortstop at AAA. Oswaldo Cabrera was Oswald Peraza's second baseman at AAA. Peraza was the shortstop. He's the number 2 prospect in the org. Cabrera was 12. Which means you're admitting Oswaldo Cabrera, who moved to shortstop, his defense is better than IKF's at short. Sure. That's somewhat past the eye test. The kid is very fluid. He looks more like a shortstop. Peraza played above him at AAA at shortstop, which means Peraza defensively and Jack Curry, like the most respected Yankees beat writer, said Peraza is the best defensive shortstop in the organization. Okay, cool, fine, whatever. So what about the hitting? Oswald Peraza, in a very small sample, which is all he was provided, 18 games, hit 306, 404, 832. Sure, that's really good. A 139 OPS plus. It's a small sample. I know. I get it. 2 stolen bases, no caught stealings. Did he have an error? No errors. So we will find out when the Yankees put out their lineup, because Jim has been worried about the Yankees' decision makers from early on in the Cleveland series. I think they get a little bit of back, not pitching homes back-to-back days, and some of the moves they made ended up paying off with their bullpen and things like that. Never making the move at shortstop feels ghastly and just bad. And we'll see what the lineup looks like tonight. Houston has a small left field. Will they play Carpenter or Giancarlo out there? Or do you play as Waldo out there and put Peraza at short? Because at Yankee Stadium, you can't play Carpenter or G in left field. It's too big. Or did they play IKF over Peraza, which again means you're playing someone that you have now openly admitted you think is worse defensively and offensively at shortstop than one of your top prospects. So, if that happens, I might tune into BetterHelp. And now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. More athletes are speaking out about the importance of mental health, but you don't have to want to be a pro to be at the top of your game. Everyone needs to take care of their mental well-being. Whether you're an athlete or not, therapy is the best way to stay in peak mental shape. If you're thinking about giving therapy a try, BetterHelp is a great option. It is convenient, accessible, affordable, entirely online. And get matched with a therapist after filling out a brief survey. And this is the most important part for me. I mention this to you every time. I think one of the scarier parts about getting involved in therapy would be you get a therapist you don't like. Well, BetterHelp, you can switch therapists anytime. So when you're ready to feel at the top of your mental game, therapy can get you there. Visit BetterHelp.com/Jake. That's my name. Today, and you'll get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/Jake. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at with Yankees in Houston. Let's see the chips fall where they may. Yankees are going to have to steal one of the first two. Tyone game, crazy come from behind game. If they do it, good. If they don't, going to be sad times on the internet and at this office. Hopefully we get a great series, which it looks like we're about to get with San Diego and Philly. San Diego loses at home game 1. Philly, Zach Wheeler, a dominant performance. Zach Wheeler, probably underrated. Man. One hit, 83 pitches. He really emptied the tank. His velo came down in his final inning, so they pulled him after 7 and, low 80s pitches. That could have easily been questioned if the bullpen gave it up. The Phillies' bullpen has been good. It's supposed to be one of the team's weak spots. Alvarado has been lights out, and Sir Anthony Dominguez. The two guys at homer, Harper and Schwarber. Sounds like a playoff baseball game. If you haven't seen it, Kyle Schwarber hits a baseball as hard as you'll see a human hit a baseball. Pretty insane. I guess if I'm doing an overreaction, I know I did that for game 1s of the wild card series, I believe, or maybe it was the DSs. If I'm doing an overreaction, Philly has the juice. Philly has the juice. They've got Nola in game 2. They can easily win that. Nola Snell. If they do, and they're 2-0, and they got to win 2 out of 3 games in Philly, or 2 out of 5 the rest of the way, they've got the sauce. Harper's a nut. He's full Philly mode. It's awesome. That lineup is diesel. There's guys that can beat you every game. Castellanos, Real Muto, Harper, Schwarber. I'm still not going for it yet. I picked the Padres. I still like their pitching more in a long series. That's what matters. I think Snell will hold serve at home 1-1. If they don't, though, I mean, how could you pick the Padres? But that's baseball, Susan. So enjoy the baseball. Enjoy our streams. We will see you guys